everyone, so it is time once again for my monthly favorites. So for this month we have 6 movies, 2 TV shows, and 3 books. So let's start with the movies. First movie I saw in March was 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. And I gave that 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy the movie. I enjoyed the story and I thought the performances were really good. My only issues with the film were some of the characters and some of the plot lines I thought were a little bit over the top, I guess would be the word I would use. And I also wasn't that satisfied with the ending. I mean, I understand that that's a realistic ending, but for me as a viewer, I wasn't completely satisfied with it. So, yeah, but I did enjoy the movie. The next movie I saw was A Wrinkle in Time, which I've seen has been getting a lot of negative press, and I guess a lot of reviewers and critics haven't really been enjoying it, which surprised me because I actually really enjoyed A Wrinkle in Time. I thought the visuals were stunning. I thought the acting was really good. I thought the message was really wonderful for children to see. And Meg's character was really relatable. But yeah, I was kind of surprised by all the negativity. I enjoyed the movie. I had fun. I thought it was a really sweet film, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The next movie I saw in March was Love, Simon, which was such a sweet and beautiful film, and also heartbreaking. Like, there were quite a few scenes that had me either tearing up or crying. But this movie was just so lovely, and it definitely made me want to read the book. I haven't read the book yet. I own it, but it definitely made me want to read it. I loved the cast. I thought the casting was perfect, and it warmed my heart. I did give the movie 4 out of 5 stars, and that was because there were a couple moments that were a little cheesy, and some scenarios that played out that I was like, that feels a little over dramatic and unnecessary tension. But like I said, I haven't read the book, so maybe it's accurate to the book, but for me as a viewer, I was like, this just seems like this is just fake tension created. But yeah, I still enjoyed the movie. Like I said, it was just those little things, but overall, it was still a beautiful movie that I really, really enjoyed. The next movie I saw in March was Wonder, which is a movie I'd been wanting to see since I saw the trailer. And no, I haven't read the book yet, but I really want to after seeing the movie. And this is another really beautiful film that I think a lot of kids should see. My favorite things about Wonder was the way they chose to tell the story, because I thought it was just going to be completely focused on Augie, the main character, but they changed that by kind of focusing on other characters, but they're focusing on Augie. It was an interesting way to tell the story, and I really enjoyed it, and the cast was great. It was a sweet movie. I cried too. I cried a couple times, but yeah, I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. The next movie I saw was Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, which is a movie I didn't want to see because I thought the trailer didn't make me think this was going to be a good movie. And I'm a big fan of the original Jumanji with Robin Williams, so I was like, I don't want to watch this. But my brother got it, and after a lot of convincing, we sat down and watched it. And I can say Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle was a good time. It's a fun movie. I would still say I prefer the original, but this is a really fun film that does its job well. It just being a fun action movie. It doesn't try to be like Jumanji, which I appreciated. I was afraid it was going to try to be like the original Jumanji. It's its own film, and the characters are really great. The casting was great. If you were hesitant about seeing Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, I can say I had a really good time. It's really funny, and it's really entertaining, and I'd say give it a chance. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Now, the last movie I saw in March was Ready Player One, which is another book I own but I haven't read yet, and after watching the movie, I really want to read the book. I really enjoyed Ready Player One. I thought the story was really well told. The acting was really great. My only nitpick is, because like I said, I haven't read the book, so I don't know if this is how it's supposed to be, but for me, I felt more connected to the Avatar version of the main cast than I did the actual people behind the Avatar. I found myself caring more about, Percival than I did Wade. and it went the same way with all the other characters. Like I said, I don't know if that was the point. Like, you're supposed to care more about their avatars than them as people, but that's how I felt. Whenever we were out of the game, I was like, I kind of didn't really have a connection to those characters. But the characters in the game, I had a connection to. So, like I said, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but that's how I felt, which is why I gave Ready Player One 4.5 out of 5 stars. So moving on from movies, we're going into TV shows, and I only watched 2 TV shows. The first was Victoria, which is a PBS show about Queen Victoria, and it stars Jenna Coleman, who Doctor Who fans will know as Clara Oswald, and she's playing Queen Victoria. It was a little tricky for me to get used to seeing Jenna as someone else besides Clara, since, you know, I spent 3 seasons watching her be Clara. But I kind of quickly got over that. The only thing that's still really hard for me is, I guess Queen Elizabeth had blue eyes, and if you've ever seen Jenna Coleman, you know she has very dark brown eyes, so she wears colored contacts in the show. So for me, I'm like, it is very noticeable that you are wearing colored contacts, because it just doesn't look right on her face. But other than that, I really love the story and the way they're telling it. I've only watched season 1. I have season 2. I'm going to be starting it very soon. But season 1... I felt like the first episode was a little slow, but the more episodes I watched, the more the story picked up, and I just really fell in love with the world that was created and these characters who are actually people, but, you know, and I actually found myself doing research, which I love. I love it when I watch historical drama type TV shows, and then I just find myself wanting to do more research to find out the truth. I also really love the chemistry that Jenna has with the actor who plays Albert. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but their chemistry and their dynamic in the show with Victoria and Albert is really strong, and I think it's one of the things I love the most about the show, besides the fact that Jenna does an amazing job at playing Queen Victoria. If you've not seen Victoria, I would highly recommend it, especially it totally filled the void that Downton Abbey left, because I'm obsessed with Downton Abbey. I have all 6 seasons on DVD. I love Downton Abbey, and Victoria definitely filled that void that Downton Abbey left in my heart. So yeah, if you love Downton Abbey or any type of show like that, any kind of historical drama show, I would highly recommend Victoria. Then the next show I started watching was Life Sentence, which is on CW, which stars Lucy Hale, which some of you might know from Pretty Little Liars. She played Arya. And basically, Life Sentence is about this girl named Stella, who I think she was 15 when she was diagnosed with cancer, and so she's kind of just been living life to the fullest, basically. But then, you know, she finds out and this isn't a spoiler, like it's in the trailer for the show, that she's been cured. She doesn't have cancer anymore. So now Stella just kind of has to figure out, well, I thought I was going to die for all these years, so now I have to figure out how to live. It's basically a dramedy. Like, there's dramatic moments, but it's a lot more funny than drama. But, you know, she just has to figure out, like, how to be married, how to get a job, how to deal with the fact that her family's falling apart around her, you know. So I really, really enjoy it. I'm kind of sad because I've been seeing a lot of news lately that it's not getting that great a rating. I really like Life Sentence, and I'm afraid it's going to get canceled. I have a bad feeling it might. But I'd still recommend it. Like I said, it's a funny show with some drama, and honestly, for me, it's a show I totally need. Like, I watch a lot of heavy drama stuff, so to have this really light, fun show is what I need in my life. I would recommend Life Sentence. Alright, and moving on from TV shows to books, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I did do a wrap-up to be read, so that video should be up by now. So if you want my full thoughts on these books that I'm about to quickly talk about, you can either watch that or go to my Goodreads down below and read my reviews. But I read 3 books in March. The first was I finally finished Rogue One, A Star Wars Story by Alexander Freed. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Like I said, you can watch my wrap-up to be read, or I did do a video review of this book, so you can also look for that in my reviews playlist, or just go to my videos. It wasn't that long ago that I uploaded it. The next book I read in March was November 9 by Colleen Hoover. I gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. I had some slight issues with Ben as a character and sometimes Fallon, but overall I did enjoy the story. I did enjoy the romance. And I really want to read more Colleen Hoover books now. If you've read any Colleen Hoover beside November 9, please tell me down below which one you think I should read next, because this is the only one I'd heard any hype about, so that's why I read it. But I liked her writing, I liked her storytelling, and I'd like to read more. So which Colleen Hoover book should I read next, guys? And then lastly, I read the first book in the 100 series by Cass Morgan, The 100. I gave this 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy it. It's a really fun, quick book. I love the way that Cass Morgan decided to tell the story with the 4 different perspectives. Each chapter is a different perspective, and it's split up between Clark, Bellamy, Wells, and Glass. The show, The 100 on the CW, is loosely based on this book. And after watching 4 seasons of the show and then reading a different version of a show I love, that was a lot of fun. So if you're a fan of the show, I would recommend giving the book a chance, because it'll be interesting for a lot of show fans to see how different the show could have been if it followed the book. But I really did enjoy it, and I can't wait to read the next book in the series. Those are all my favorites for March. What did you guys experience for the first time in March? Tell me down below. And if you have seen or read any of the things I talked about in this video, what did you think about them? Tell me down below. Like, favorite, comment, subscribe. Until next time, bye guys!